another question at you. So tell me about the key features overall from an architectural point of view. The reason why you describe the building as green from an architectural point of view.
Certainly. In the building fabric itself, as Chris and Sir John have mentioned, there's a lot of natural light, lots of glazing to let daylight in, but at the same time, when we do that, we have to make sure that we don't let the heat in also. So the glass is very efficient, low emissivity glass, double glazed so that even in the wintertime it'll retain the heat that is generated in the space, but also in the summertime keep the heat out from the interior. The building structure itself and the architectural expression of the building, as you can see it here, also protects the glazing and creates natural shading from the building structure itself, which cuts down the actual heat load on the outside of the glass. The roofs, flat roofs, sloped roofs are all insulated to make sure that we keep as much of the heat out as we possibly can. So those are the sort of structural elements that go to creating a very highly energy efficient building, which is something that we've always been bound to be looking for in the Bermuda because of our high energy costs. But this building has taken that to a different level. It's also forward looking in that there's a conduit in place for actually introducing solar energy systems. Once they become efficient enough that they make financial sense, we can actually retrofit the building with solar systems that will be implemented when the technology gets there. So I think we have a building here which is probably the most energy efficient building ever built in Bermuda, and a forward-looking building that takes us way into the century in terms of its technology.
Good. And Ray was going to you had something to add?
Well, yes. We've also set the building back, so we have a landscaped area in front of the building, and this helps reduce the heat gain effect, or it's called heat island effect.
Speak up, Tina.
So it reduces the heat island effect, which traditionally we have hard landscaping in front of buildings, and we get a lot of heat off that hard landscaping. But with the landscaped areas, we get all the planted areas, the grass, and this doesn't emit any heat off it. We also managed to reduce the stormwater runoff off these areas because they'll actually sink into the planting areas. So that's a green aspect of the building.
Actually, Ian, if we could repeat that question, please. Maybe
You got me?
I got you in the shot, you're a little too close, and then your voice is quite low.
Yeah, raise your voice too.
Picking that up to the mic.
We'll just slide forward just a little bit, because your voice is not picking up.
Just do a quick sound check, please.
So Tina, you're going to tell us a little bit about the landscaping in the front of the building.
Yes, that's right. We've actually set the building back from the property line so that we create this wonderful landscaped area. And what this helps to do is reduce the heat island effect. Many buildings have a lot of hard landscaping in front of the building, and this creates a lot of heat at the front or around the sides of the building. But with our landscaped area, the landscape doesn't generate any heat, so the grass and the planting also help to reduce the water runoff from the site, because the water will be absorbed by the planting areas. So that's one of the green aspects to the landscaping.
Did you pick her up?
I have it.
She faded at the end, didn't she?
Yeah, you did. What I'm going to do it one more time. And rolling.
But tell us again about the landscaping.
Our building is set back from the property line, so we have this wonderful landscaped area in front of the building, and what that helps us with is reducing the heat island effect, which traditionally you have a lot of hard landscaping in front of buildings, and this gives off a lot of heat. Now with the planting, we mitigate that because obviously we have the ground planting around the building, and so this reduces the heat. It also helps with reducing the stormwater runoff from this area, so we're not putting a lot of water from the site onto the roads.
Did you get it that time? I think
I got it.
You got it?
Good.
Okay,
It's still rolling.
And Ray, there's a unique points about the electrical distribution system that the building has?
The electrical distribution is serviced by redundant generating system, which services the entire facility in the event of a power outage. In addition to that, we've capitalized on the available light through the four-sided glazing of the building, which is unique to Bermuda. In doing that, we've allowed for a daylight harvesting system, and what that does is, taking the available light coming through the windows, we can adjust the lighting levels within the building itself through the lighting fixtures. If we sense that on a bright sunny day that there's adequate lighting, we can turn the lighting system off on the perimeter and keep it still on within the core of the building where the daylight's not reaching. If it's a cloudy day or overcast day, we can still capitalize on it, only reducing the lighting levels to 50%. So that's unique. There are very few buildings in Bermuda that have that quality. We've used LED lighting technologies where we saw fit. LED is very energy efficient. It's still in its infancy and development for quality of light. So we've used it in the landscape areas on the outside of the building and for the facade lighting on the exterior of the building. As Mr. Lindbergh touched on, we've made provisions for photovoltaics on the roof in the coming years once the technology has taken itself to a level that we're comfortable with. I think that's from a lighting perspective. I think I've touched on it. We do have